MK, Honorable Dr. Hlope.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, Honorable Minister, Deputy Minister, Honorable colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I stand here representing the MK party. I just want to say, before I make my input, which will be extempore, we did not get the relevant documentation timeously, and that has put me in a tremendous disadvantage. But I will make my input extempore nevertheless. The first input from the MK is this. We note that the budget has been decreased by 13%. In real terms, this means the courts have to do more and more with less and less. More and more work must be done, but with less and less resources. That's what it means in real terms. The problem with that is the following. In the case of the higher courts, for example, we all know there is a huge backlog. I'm not aware of a single court, high court in this country, which does not have a backlog, particularly cases. This is as a result of a wide range of factors in criminal cases, ranging from load shedding. The other one has to do with the fact that it is often difficult to get prisoners who are appearing in the courts for trial timeously. These are all factors that impact on the finalization of cases timeously, and this causes a huge backlog. Inevitably, the heads of courts have to find a solution. They often resort to the professions and call for attorneys and advocates to come and act on a pro bono basis. They would volunteer their services, they don't get paid. The problem of the head of court is put at a tremendous disadvantage. In some courts, you would have 20 or 30 pro bono advocates or pro bono appointments. I don't know how they manage that. It's a nightmare. Now, correspondingly, administrative staff have not been increased. There are many vacancies throughout the courts in this country which have not been filled. So that impacts on the quality of the work that must be done at the end of the day. Some of these pro bono counsel, once they are done with their work, they go back to the bar, they go back to the attorney's profession. And I've been told in some divisions, they are appointed as pro bono advocates, so as pro bono judges, but they are allocated other work in the normal role, which is wrong, because they are not appointed as judges. They are appointed pro bono. The other problem with the courts being short-staffed is that there are accused who are languishing in jail. In the case of a trial where the accused person, after the trial, where an accused person has been waiting in prison for years and comes up for trial, and eventually he or she is acquitted. This has serious consequences, right? And the budget, I don't see how that has been factored in the budget to ensure that that doesn't happen. The budget, in my view, in our view, considered view as MK, fails also to ensure that during this 7th Parliament, we ensure that the access to justice is improved, particularly by those South Africans who live in rural areas. We all know that South Africans who live in rural areas and who are obviously vulnerable and poor, and if one were to use color, they are by and large black people who live in those areas. Those areas are not developed. Sometimes those areas don't even have bridges. It has been raining. They will not gain access to the courts because of lack of infrastructure in those areas. Maybe the department wants to consider other options that may be available, for example, having more and more circuit courts in those areas. Access to justice, particularly in remote areas, is still a huge challenge for us. The other problem about online services, it's an ideal situation to have a paperless court. The problem is this: you cannot have a paperless court as long as you have load shedding. In order for us to have a paperless court, there must be no load shedding, so that there is access to electricity for 24 hours. This is why the online project we started many years ago will never be finalized in the foreseeable future, as long as we have load shedding. And load shedding does not appear to be going away in this country anytime soon. So as long as we have load shedding, the whole idea about online or e-filing is a dream that we will never be able to realize. The budget also, in our view as the MK party, doesn't take account of some of the realities which give rise to this caseload. For example, if one does research, cases of malicious prosecution are on the rise. I'm not talking about wrongful arrest. I'm talking about malicious prosecution. Those cases are on the rise, and they impact on the budget of this department. Now, what is the solution? The solution lies maybe in part in training our prosecutors, right? Because they often arise in the context of criminal prosecutions. In the good old days, especially when it came to serious cases like murder, rape, you would find a senior prosecutor being allocated to the case much earlier, so that he or she controls the investigation. I know for a fact I sat in the Marike de Klerk trial where she was murdered, our First Lady. The policeman was involved there. It was Captain Barkhazen. He was involved right from the beginning, and he worked very closely with the prosecutors. The result was a successful prosecution. So I would really urge you that you ensure that the budget takes account of that reality. I realize that I'm running out of time.
You still have 21 seconds.
21 seconds? Well, I want to stick to my time. Improved access, Melissa. Finally, we need, this is from the MK's point, to ensure that there is optimal use of court hours. I know that that is a very old story. It is as old as mankind. It's all very well to say, let's work with a limited budget, but we must make sure that there is optimal use of court hours.
Your time has run out.
No, that's fine.
Thank you.